Well, it's the weekend, it's pretty nice, but it's going to storm later, so no flying for me today. I'm going to take you over to the hangar at the airport and give you a little tour there. You'll see there are things to do even when we're not flying. Come along. Leaving our neighborhood, we're living on the far north end of Cedar Rapids. Airport's on the far south side of town, so depending on traffic, it's between 20-25 minutes or so from my house to the hangar. All right, Hangar 403, the home of 70 Tango Bravo. Let's go in. All right, I won't pull the airplane out today, but I do want light in here, so let me open the door. And there she is, 70 Tango Bravo. I haven't flown her in over a week. I was on travel all week, and like I said, the weather forecast for today is not all that nice. Tomorrow not looking much better. But I got a few things to do. We got to update the database and do some paperwork from recent maintenance. So I'll do that while I'm here. I'll show you around, and then I'll head back home. By the way, the last time you saw me here, it was still bitterly cold. There was snow on the ground, and I think there were 3 of me at that time. Remember that? Today it's much nicer. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to update the database for the Garmins. Got 2 cards reprogrammed at home. That just works from a computer over an internet connection onto the cards. And then I take the card from the unit here, put the new one in. Same with the second one. It's important they have the same database version, otherwise the cross-fill from flight plan from top to bottom doesn't work. That's it for the database update. Good for another 28 days. All right, every hangar needs to have a trash can. And then there's a lot of stuff in this cabinet here. I got anything from headsets, cables for recording stuff, extension cords. This is co-pilot Becky's Halo. Here at the bottom is paperwork, logs for the airplane. Keys are important for flying. Sick bags from different airlines. Cleaning supplies. Yeah, all that is in here, protected in this cabinet. Fortunately, I don't need this anymore for a few months. But, a little cleaning every now and then is good, so there's a broom. Got a step ladder in here, helps me clean the windows, the windshield. Here's a bucket of water, and these things are the mouse guards that you've seen in one of my other videos, which I put around the wheels during the winter so that mice or other critters don't make it into the plane. This is my little museum corner. In the center, I have a map, and each pin on this map is an airport that I've landed 70 Tango Bravo at. A lot here in the Midwest, of course, a few on the East Coast in Florida, just a handful out west. I'd love to go back to the West Coast sometime. And then here on the left, we have parts that were replaced, like an exhaust manifold, an instrument pressure pump, my old altimeter, which wasn't working, old clock, spark plugs, strobe lights, an old landing light, you know, all stuff that broke over time and had to be replaced. Oh, this here, any idea what this is? Well, I'll tell you. It's the ignition harness. My older videos had a really bad sound, like a motorboat noise whenever there was a radio reception.
Dallas Fort Worth International Airport arrival information Yankee 18530.
It turned out that was ignition noise, and replacing this ignition harness here with a new one fixed that, so the newer videos are much cleaner audio-wise. This here, you may have guessed, is not an airplane part. This is a bottle of Glenlivet, favorite drink of Max Grogan. Max passed away a couple of years ago. He's the one that started the Beach Talk flying in Knoxville, Tennessee, that Becky and I are going to fly to again in a couple of weeks. And I keep this in memory of Max. Then there's a poster of the first Beach Talk Continental Motors factory fly-in. That was in Fairhope, Alabama, where these wonderful Continental engines are made. And I think there's a story behind it, because the people there that were not familiar with what we do, they thought a Bonanza was the TV show Bonanza, and they thought we were coming to Fairhope, Alabama to enjoy their beaches on the Gulf of Mexico. A few other things I keep here are my ticket for Sun and Fun this year, the ticket for Oshkosh the last time I parked there. This is an actual control strip from the tower here for a flight Midway. APS seminar badge. This was a tower tour, AOPA fly-in. I volunteered there once. My EAA chapter badge. This was a weather workshop. And then a little further down here, forgot the name of this lady, but she was signing posters for a good cause to support the Young Eagles program. Few hats. I rarely wear these baseball hats, but you know, I do get them, and when they're flying related, well, I'll keep them. This here is an ice chest, and what I have in here is block ice in these containers, and I'll show you what I need it for in a minute. I do have a little sitting area here, just a few chairs. I got the 70 Tango Bravo branded blankets and pillows for my passengers. Next to it I have a shop vac to clean the airplane. I got a compressor to fill up the tires if needed. Use that for my car too. Got something to play music, and just a lot of storage for all sorts of things. This is a blanket, a warmer blanket that goes over the cowling. I got some life vests for the very, very few times I fly over water. Got oil. Gotta have oil in a hangar, right? And because it can be so cold in the winter and so warm in the summer here, I got a heater. You know, if it's really, really cold and I'm spending any time in the hangar, I'll bring some kerosene and use that. And this guy here that looks like a cooler, because it was a cooler once, plugs into the cigarette lighter, the plane, and I fill it with ice and a few drops of water. This duct goes here, and this turns into an air conditioning unit for my plane that I use only when it's warm. It's lightweight and works really, really well. The only inconvenience is I do need ice, but most FBOs in the summer have bagged ice, so it's a really good unit. It's the Be Cool. This thing here is a little tug. It's electric, works battery powered, and I got this as a gift from my friend Arlen in Florida. When he changed airplanes and went from a normal three-wheel airplane to a tailwheel airplane, he didn't need this anymore, and he just gave this to me. He's a super nice guy. And Arlen, if you see this, thank you. Been putting it to good use ever since. I do have some I do have some simple studio lighting in here because I sometimes record video in here, and if the hangar door is closed and if the lighting needs to be really good, then I use these lights. Not using them right now because we've got plenty of light from the outside. Here's the plane, and you see a power cable go into the engine compartment. Let's take a look. This is where that goes. This is probably called battery minder. It's a trickle charger that keeps the battery fully charged at all times. This guy here is called switch box, and that goes to this blue extension cord, which in turn goes to the engine heater of the airplane. And with this thing I can turn on or off the engine heater through my cell phone. That's pretty neat. And of course it's a hangar, right? So they're airplanes. I was taking off from the shorter runway, got wind from the south today, which makes it as warm as it is. Normally these jets would be using 927 here in Cedar Rapids. All right, one more thing to do. Let's go back inside. All right, what I got here is the airframe log and a bunch of paperwork for the Rosen visors, which I bought in Lakeland and which are now in the airplane. The mechanic signed it off and gave me a sticker for the logbook. So I'm going to put that in here. Got the book, got the 337 and the STC. We're all legal with the visors. Now, why anyone would call it a major alteration, only the FAA knows. All right, paperwork's done. There's really only one thing I haven't shown you yet, and I saved that for the end. That's this thing here next to me. It's a refrigerator with water for the flight and beer for after the flight. Not going flying today, so cheers guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, send me a comment here on YouTube. As always, I appreciate a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. That helps me make more videos. See you next time. Good stuff.